This is the briefing for the meeting that we just had, public meeting. I'm with Commissioner Schilling. My name is Commissioner James Booth.
Yeah, this is for the agenda. We're going to go over that for our May 13th meeting.
So first, we approved the agenda and approved the previous minute. The bills were in line. There were some additional appropriations. One, the commissary at the jail, where they replenish what they sell. Family and Children First, and one wireless 911, one landline 911. And the 911s were audits. So $675.50, I believe, is what the cost was on each one of those. You want to go into the transfers?
I can speak of the transfers. The transfers were Family and Children First, which is grant money, so it's a pass-through basically from us to them. There was a transfer from County General, which is the CCMEP, which is the Comprehensive Case Management Employment Program. That's a move, and then we get reimbursed for that.
And it's worth mentioning that's 14 to 21-year-old employment.
Right.
That's what that program's for.
That's what that's for. And it's always good to be able to offer some employment for that age and that demographic, because let's get them in the workforce, let's get them working a little bit and get them used to being on a schedule and being prompt and doing all that you need to do to hold down a job and be a good product of society. The other one is the building department, transfer building department. That's for a newspaper. That's basically for a subscription to the newspaper. All right, so, and then and nows, we had a couple of then and nows, if you want to go ahead and speak of those, Commissioner.
One of those was for some playground equipment going to Marietta Township. So those bills sometimes come in before there's a PO.
What playground?
Marietta Township. I don't know the exact location. I have that in my office.
Okay.
But it was some community block development grant money.
Oh, cool.
That was for playground equipment.
All right.
You can speak of the CSEA.
CSEA is the Child Support Enforcement Agency,
Mm-hmm.
and that's for a limited English proficiency plan. So as we know, there's different languages spoken in this world, and they renew that every 2 years. So that was renewed today. There was a contract with Zen City through JFS, and that is a monitoring of social media. As we know, times have changed, and a lot of folks are on social media. So a lot of the word that is spoken out there, we need to know what the community needs are, and that's what this will monitor.
I think it's a way for us to engage the community a little better. I think there's a lot of communication through social media outlets, and I think this is a way, and it's something that JFS is going to take care of. It's not coming out of County General, which is important, and I think it's going to help them, but it's also going to help us when it comes to engagement with the community and what their thoughts are on certain issues and things that we have going on right now in the Commissioner's office.
Then the sheriff gave his monthly report on the care of prisoners for the month of April, which we acknowledged. The COVID task force had a couple items that they purchased, which is pretty much a norm at this point. So there was a couple of those. And then you want to speak to the Port Authority?
The Port Authority had a couple of appointments to the board. They currently have 10 board members, and they're wanting to go to 13. We approved 2 appointments to the board today.
There's a little bit of dispute on that.
A little bit of a dispute on that, but we approved Brett Alphen. He's with a company called Sixmo Inc.
Mm-hmm.
That's SIXMO Inc. And then also Eric Reed, who is a engineer with ODOT. One of the things that I wanted to say is I think Commissioner Booth spoke of this at the meeting, but we don't always agree on things. His thought was to table this because Mr. Alphen is running for a public office with the city council here in Marietta, and I didn't favor that motion to table, and I thought that we just needed to make sure and I thought we needed to go ahead and approve these 2, and if Mr. Alphen gets elected to the city council seat here this fall, then at that time we will know what the process is when it comes to a board member and a public official and how that all goes together.
Exactly. And that's the reason that there's 3 commissioners. We don't always agree, but we discuss and then we decide. And that's okay. That's what you want your government doing is not always agreeing, and that just breeds good conversation.
Yeah, my thought was it's the Port Authorities. It's their board's decision. They done their research. I was at the last Port Authority meeting, and was very high on these two, or they were very high on these two. I was able to meet Mr. Reed. So I believe it's their position to do the due diligence moving forward, and I know they'll communicate well with us. And if Mr. Alphen would have to step aside after elected, if he's elected to city council, then
Okay, so we'll have to kind of wrap this up.
Okay. Thank you very much.
thank you.